Hey, what's up? It's me again, Butterfly to Light, and I am back with another video request for Sagittarius and Cancer relationships. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's all I got to say. You know, the thing about Sagittarius and Cancer, when they come together, they could easily forget the past. They could easily overlook things and just keep that forward movement ahead. Yes, that's right. When they first come in, the Cancer gets to leave its emotional baggage at the door and just let the Sagittarius take them on this ride, like a joy ride. Sagittarius gets to just really be who they are and really pursue the things that they want to pursue, and they get to be happy. They get to be supported for what they want to do. And when all is said and done, it could be a win-win situation for the both of them. That's what they feel like. Cancer is going to love the fact that Sagittarius has this forward-moving momentum. Sagittarians pulls back that bow and arrow, hits their target, and they don't look back. And they don't like anybody to tell them to look back. You know? And Cancers is perfect for this because Cancers understands this. And Cancers don't really like to be... Like if Cancer says, you know what, okay, fine, we move past it, okay, you know. Cancer is going to allow Sagittarians the right to whatever it is that they want to think of, whatever it is direction they want to go in. Cancer is going to love the fact, the passion, the fire that Sagittarians burn with when it comes to progression in their life. Cancers love people that are successful, you know. And that are able to just go for what they want. Cancers will see this in the Sagittarius and absolutely adore it, understand it, and appreciate it. Sagittarians love this. And Sagittarians gives Cancer the motivation that it needs to keep going as well. Cancer doesn't really need the motivation. I'm not saying that Cancer is looking for that motivation, but it's just that the Sagittarians, they come and they give Cancers that positive up boost, that positive boost, like the optimistic viewpoint, and it can allow Cancers to free themselves of the emotional baggage that they may carry, you know, of things in the past, you know. Sometimes when something deeply hurts a Cancer, they don't forget it. You know, they don't really let it go. But when they come into contact with Sagittarians could just really give them the viewpoint of, you know, don't even worry about that. The past is the past. Let's just keep moving forward. As a matter of fact, they both have those viewpoints and they both move forward gracefully. You know, they're barely... with this placement, they're not really about their hangups. So they come in, they can easily, you know, like I said, they can easily leave things at the door. And when they come in, it's almost like they come in and just pick up things out of nowhere. You know, like nothing existed prior to them coming into contact with each other, even though we know that things did. They clearly had a life. The Cancer had their life. The Sagittarians had their life. But some kind of way, it's like they come together and they create something totally new. It's like they come into this magical zone. They enter this magical, mystical zone that, you know, allows them to really leave or forget about what's going on. Now, I don't know if they're forgetting about what's going on or they're overlooking it for the time. You know, because Sagittarians are going to want to, well, so they're never stuck. They keep going. And sometimes they don't have the proper conversation that they need to have. Because of this. They're not going to want to know. Like, this Cancer is not really going to bring up the Sagittarian anything that the Sagittarian doesn't really want to discuss. They're not going to bring it up. And another thing, why they work great is because really they're both sensitive. Cancer is sensitive in a sentimental type way. And Sagittarians is sensitive in an ego type way. And it's not ego as an insult. It's more about the understanding that fire signs are more representation of the ego. Get that straight. Ego is not bad. It's on nothing. None of the energy is bad until you take it out of its context, out of balance. Okay, so Sagittarians is more sensitive in an ego way. So with Sagittarians is more along the lines like, you know, my identity, you know, what I have to bring to the table, what I know, my pursuit is important to me. And other people being in acceptance of this or having an understanding is my feedback that tells me what I'm doing is getting, like, they're hearing it. It's being well received. Because remember, Sagittarian, the instructor, aka the teacher, aka the guru, aka the sign of spirituality, higher education. You're not a guru really, until you can get some followers. Well, according to the Sagittarius, that is. So it can unnerve a Sagittarius when people are not understanding of what they're bringing to the table. Even though a Sagittarian can be very blunt or come off insensitive to others, you gotta remember they're sensitive. Cancers are not going to really, you know, throw stuff in the Sagittarian's face or make a Sagittarian. Cancers are going to feel sensitivity towards the Sagittarius. And really treat the Sagittarius in a way that supports them. So they're going to support the Sagittarian in what they have going on, their missions that they carry out on their journey. And Sagittarians are also going to be there to, you know, just encourage the Cancer and really motivate the Cancer. And Sagittarians have that spiritual aspect of themselves that Cancers love. You know, Cancers is going to see the Sagittarian in the essence of who they are, in their element, and Cancers is going to love the fact that Sagittarians has that insight. Because Cancers have their tunnel vision, right? So Cancers is going to see the end of that tunnel where the light is showing, but Cancers don't really want to know what's going on around it. Cancers is like, I don't really need to know any of that extra stuff. Just get me to the light. See? But it's going forward swiftly, ignoring the obstacles. Sagittarius is also for a movement, but the difference is Sagittarius sees a bigger picture. And Sagittarians wants to get to their destination by, you know, identifying with what is not necessarily, I don't want to say around them, but what's kind of ahead of them, but in a sense to where it's like they gravitate to what's ahead of them to learn how to get themselves to that point. So, okay, well, I'm going to be a guru. So what I do, I take information off of other gurus. I learn off of other gurus, and then I appoint myself, or I'm appointed through my experiences to become the guru myself. You see what I'm saying? But it's still, the picture is still forward moving, and it's still like I got my eye on the prize. But it's just spread more thin. It's just spread more out than just like that, than a straight and narrow, you know. So they're having their little interactions. The Cancer is supporting the Sagittarius. The Sagittarius is just like that light, that insight, and just really showing Cancer another side of things. You know, Cancers are passionate. Sagittarians are passionate. They're just passionate in different ways. And when they come together, they bring even more passion out of each other. You know, it's just one is in an emotional way. One is in a more of an action-oriented type way. But when they come together, they can be very productive. They can accomplish a great amount. They can accomplish a great amount. They can accomplish a great amount if they use it to their advantage. And it's just hard for them to get stuck in a particular place. That's why they can advance. They don't get stuck in one particular place. It's always something innovative going on. It's always something to where, they can start off, and Sagittarius can start up something, Cancers will support them, but at the same time, Cancers is real, it can get cold with it, because Cancers can do their own thing too. Can have their own thing too, but also support the Sagittarius. And then another thing that is good about this relationship, because they can allow each other to have the amount of space that they need. Sagittarians love to have their space. Cancers, I know that Cancers are known for their clinginess, but at the same time, they can like to have their own space, a time to themselves where they can just reprocess their emotions, deal with what they're feeling. And just as long as at the end of the day, they got the support there, they got their security there, they got their family, they'll come back. It doesn't take them long, but they can handle being on their own, is what I'm saying. So the distance doesn't bother them from time to time. Until Cancers look around and they start wondering, like, okay, all right, Sag, where are you? Because, I'm supportive of you. I've been supportive of you. And it's like, you're taking advantage of it. And the Sag is like, what? Because all I'm doing is what I've been doing. You knew how I was when you got into this. I like my space. I like to travel. I don't want to be at home all the time. Yes, and I am supportive of you, and I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, it's getting to the point of where it's hard to determine like what's going on with you. I supported you when you said that you wanted to start the music company. I supported you when you were going to start that football team. Remember the little league team that you were going to start? I supported you when you said that you were going to start the car wash. I even helped you wash some of the cars. What more do you want from me? Okay. And the Sagittarian is like, wait, hold up. Are you trying to say that, what are you trying to say? I'm not understanding what you're trying to say. And yeah, and you supported me as you should, and I did every last one of those things that I said I was going to do. And the Cancer is kind of like, yeah, but no, I don't really feel like you gave it the proper attention that you needed to give it. I don't really feel like, they panned out the way that you said, and it's like you're going from one thing to the next, and I'm really getting irritated because you got to remember your family here. You got to remember us. We have a home, and the kids are here, and I need some personal time with you. Okay, just one-on-one. I need to know that you are in this just as much as I am. Pay me some attention too. I'm not just going to be supporting you all the time. I don't know who you think you are. I give you your space, but every time, it's another wild adventure you're going on. I don't want to be out on the road. I don't want to be doing all that traveling. I'm here. I'm comfortable at the house. And the Sagittarian is just like, you know what? I can't do this. I can't do this because I can't allow people to stifle my dreams and goals, and I just won't have it. Like, I feel like you knew what this was about before you got in. And the Cancer was like, hold up, what? The Sagittarians get to the point where they feel like the Cancer is now trying to stifle their dreams, their goals. Is now trying to control them. And of course, Sagittarians can't stand to be controlled. The Cancer is like, bet. I've been here waiting all day for you. Man, I even cooked dinner. I got the meal on the stove. That's cold now. I put the kids in the bath. I got the kids to bed. Where was you? What do you mean, where was I? I told you that I had to go out of town to the new shoe store and shop. It's out of town. It's like 2 or 3 hours away. Of course, the dinner's gonna be late. Of course, the dinner's gonna be cold when I get back home. What are you talking about? Yes, but that's the thing. You all out of town shopping for shoes that you could just shop for right here, down here at the local shoe store. What happened to that you used to go to? That's right down the street. But no, you want to get on the road traveling for 2 and 3 hours at a time. It ain't making any sense. See that right there. That's what I'm talking about. What are you talking about? That's what I'm talking about. What are you talking about? Right there. That's what I'm talking about. I just feel like you don't really support me and what my ambitions are, what I'm trying to do. Support? What do you mean I don't support you? Like, didn't you say that you was opening up the beauty shop? And then after that, I supported your singing career. And you support, see, stop right there. That is what I'm talking about right there. Right there. And then you had that shoe joint that you was supposed to be opening up. And see, right there. I won't listen to it. I won't have this. And that is why I went shopping today out of town to purchase some shoes to add to the shoe store. You know that I was opening up a beauty shop / shoe store where I was going to have the hair being done in one section and then the shoes being purchased in the other. You know that. I'm just not, I'm not feeling this. Like, I don't like the lack of support that you're giving me right now. What? So what happens is now everything is being brought out to the forefront. All the emotions that the Cancer wasn't really speaking about was kind of holding inside. Even the past emotions, remember that emotional baggage, the Cancer is now bringing it back into the relationship or bringing it up because now they're kind of seeing everything for what it really is. And the Sagittarian is now, looking at the situation like, I don't know. I don't know, because I kind of feel like, was your support real? Like, you're changing up now and you know how I was. And I don't understand this. I don't want to hear this. They end up reaching a point to where the Sagittarius has completely spreaded the Cancer stint. They spread in their emotions and feelings thin, just spreading it out. And the Cancer is now like, oh my God, like, I don't know who am I? What has this became? Like, I don't know. Like, this is just really all over the place. I don't even know where to place my emotions. And the Cancers the Sagittarius ends up feeling like the Cancers is now dampening their fire. It's putting out their fire. And the Sagittarians is looking at the Cancers almost like, man, you're not supporting me. Like, you are being negative. Really what is happening is that now all of their issues is coming to the forefront. Now the Sagittarians has to look at the relationship with a sense of attachment to that relationship because they're part of the relationship. The Cancers looks at it in a way like, this isn't what I'm secure in. I'm not secure in this because in a relationship, I can have my freedom and my time to myself, but I still want to know that I have that closeness with my partner, like that emotional support as well. So the Cancer is looking at it like they're missing the support that they need from the Sagittarius. And what these two individuals can do, what can these two individuals do to make their relationship better or to have some type of understanding? First of all, you got to put everything out on the table. We're not leaving it at the door. Sagittarians, you don't say, or, bringing certain stuff up or having conversations about, your past relationships and what could have went wrong. We're not going to say, hey, that's negative. Let's move past it. Cancer, you want to know this information. You want to know this information because when you first entered the relationship, you allowed Sagittarians just, willy-nilly as they are. And you didn't really look at their past relationships, and what happened in their past relationships. And now so you have to come to the point of where you can have an open dialogue about and really look at what happened. Certain interactions that took place to where now you can put it on the table and say, you know what, I'm willing to look at it like what it really is. And this is not being negative. This is not raining on my parade. If I want to be in this relationship, I'm really going to have to identify myself on a level of commitment that it takes to be in this relationship, even on an emotional level. Not emotional dependency, that's different. But just emotional awareness of what my partner is looking for too. And Cancer, it's you got to be willing to communicate this in an effective way, but at the same time, deal with some of the issues that even in your past with your emotional baggage that maybe you've held on to as well. Like, you got to be willing to put all this out on the table and say what the other one is really looking for. Not always for a movie. You got to look at the details. You got to look at what's going on around you and what has went on behind you. Not to keep it, not for a negative purpose or not to hang on to, but in order to really release those things and let it go, to come together in a way that benefits both of you guys. If you can do that, because Sagittarius, you got to be able to show your emotional support to the Cancers as well, like in a way to where you show them that you're appreciative of them and their support and who they are and the family that you created together, or just your commitments to each other. Every now and then you got to be willing, like, write the Cancer a card or like leave a little love note somewhere, and even if it's not that, like, show the Cancer that you honor the fact that they are supportive of you. And Cancer, you gotta be able to really, it's not about just being like, okay, well, you know what, I can be alone. It's not that. It's just about understanding that you have to be secure within yourself first. Like, establish security within yourself, not so much as things around you, because that can even help you too when it comes to having to relocate with the Sag or go on little trips with the Sag. Because, like, a lot of times Cancers love their comfort zone. I'm not saying that they don't take trips and things like that. Don't get me wrong, but they love their comfort zone. They love their home. They love having their home, their place, to like a space to themselves. So it's not that Cancers, you can't handle the alone time. It's just more about a certain attachment that you place on in that. It's about establishing the security within yourself and the emotional security within yourself, but at the same time, kind of holding the Sagittarius accountable for their interactions with you, like their behavior. Not in a mother-child type way, because Sagittarians don't really like to feel control. Even if you're not trying to control them, it's easy to make them feel trapped in. So you gotta be willing to, so in this relationship, the securing your own emotional, being secure within yourself emotionally, and not really having that attachment to the Sagittarius will definitely help in this relationship. So it's good to get this up front, because the Sagittarians, the way they step into the relationship with you is what they want to pretty much keep up. If they stepped in and you weren't questioning them about stuff, or you were allowing them to just really do as they please, then they're going to expect to keep that up. And when you try to say, change that or let them know, they can feel like you are trying to box them in. It just depends on how you come off to them. So they're always going to want that element of freedom. I say what you can do when it comes to any advice when it comes to a Sagittarian, is kind of just let them be. You gotta show up in a way that makes you feel comfortable, and you gotta kind of state what it is from the beginning. Not really what the relationship is gonna be about necessarily, but what you like or what you want in your relationship with somebody else. And I'm not saying like on the first date do this, no, but I'm saying like as a relationship builds, make sure this has been known, because you're not and don't accept certain things off of them. You can't accept everything that they do. I'm just saying that you gotta pretty much be okay with being in a relationship with them, but at the same time, not really making it evident all the time. It's like, okay, well, I know I'm in a relationship with them. We already said that we're together and we're living together. We are together. We do things together. We are in a committed relationship, but at the same time, I'm not gonna keep talking about it. I'm not gonna, you kind of just gotta let them go and do your own thing, and they come back in. The more you go after them to try to grab, because they get bored very easy. You got to be able to kind of switch it up on them. Switch it up with different interactions sometimes. Because it's just the truth. And if you have an immature Sagittarian, it's going to be even worse with that independent thing. And if you have an immature Cancer, it's going to be even worse with the emotional clinginess. Okay? But all in all, I feel like there's help. There is a way to get through this. It's just, it has to be some type of general understanding of who each other is. So I'm going to stop there. And this has been Sagittarius and Cancer relationship. Butterfly to light. I'll be back.